To know that you've actually been doing every single little thing that you can and every single thing that they've asked you to do, and you still get treated like this, y'all, it's like a kick in the face. It's like you just spit in my face. Hey everybody. I'm making this video because I just want y'all to see that, you know, life gets to me sometimes too. Sometimes you can still do everything that you know is right and still come out last. I know y'all like, dang, man. Y'all, so I'm just gonna break it down to y'all. I had a friend that let me stay here so I can be able to build my mobile house. I did build that mobile house, and then after that, I got kicked out. I was accused of a whole bunch of bogus things, and she put me and my dogs out forcefully. I was here for a month, and I still got kicked out because I didn't have apparently any residency here. Apparently I didn't pay anything, or I didn't have any things here, so. And she made it seem like I was putting her safety in jeopardy. So that happened, and I left. And I went back to the woods. She continued to text me because my car was in the back, which wasn't bothering her. She knew it wasn't bothering her, but I guess that was just her way of still communicating with me. She told me, you know, she was wrong, and I tried to continuously tell her that I did nothing wrong. You know, I was accused of a whole bunch of crazy things, right? And I was accused of these crazy things, and she said that she was asleep. So she has no way of proving these things. And the person that accused me never came and accused me themselves. They just told her, and then she came back at me, and then she tried to just throw me out, which she did throw me out. While I was in the woods again, she continuously texted me, and you know, it took about a day or two, but she finally realized that her friend was not being honest. Only thing I was doing is putting out all the facts. You know, somebody is accusing somebody is accusing somebody of something and not coming forth, and then this same person was supposed to be going to church with us and never went to church. This same person always comes in your life and brings unnecessary problems and unnecessary drama. So with her seeing all these context clues and all these other things, you know, she came to understanding that she made the wrong choice. And I just wanted her to understand that, you know, you put me and my dogs in jeopardy by just throwing me out, you know, with no type of no type of, you know, warning or anything. It was just, she just came and just like, I want you out now. And, you know, I had to leave, y'all. So y'all saw that video, but, you know, I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. Like, it's hot outside, you know, and I want to be able to see my son, you know, and these are agreements that we agreed on, you know, because I'm not going to bring my son in the woods. I just want you to understand that. I'm never going to bring my son in the woods until he is able and ready and actually says, I want to go in the woods, right? But by that time, he's going to be like 16, 17, you know. But, yeah. So, you know, she understood that I needed a place to see my son. And, you know, we made that agreement again, you know, and so I could feel comfortable, you know, I had to, you know, make her kind of say, okay, do you still believe what you accuse me of or not? You know, because you threw me out saying you don't trust me and all this other stuff, and now you're saying, you want to help me and you believe me now. So I'm trying to figure out, do you really trust me? And she said yes. And with that, I asked for a key, and I asked for us to sign a contract, and I asked for everything to be documented so that if we ever do go through something like that, she just wants to throw me out, she has to go the right way about it instead of doing it the same way she did the first time with with lack of truth, So she agreed to it and we did it. Everything's been going great until today. I had my son with me yesterday and I had to bring him back today, but we kind of got into an argument this morning, and the argument led to her, basically saying, about kicking me out. It was just, oh, you can't be here. I don't feel safe with you. And I'm like, what did I do? And apparently I disrespected her. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, bro, like, at the end of the day, you're not going to sit here and just scream at me. Let me just say this. If we're supposed to be helping each other with different problems, right? You're helping me with the place to stay. I'm helping you financially. And I'm also helping you by watching your son. So you can go and take care of the things that you need to take care of. If you are asking me for advice and I give you advice, and the only thing that you do when I give you that advice is tell me I'm wrong and I don't know this and I don't know that, then I'm as a person not gonna keep wanting to give you that advice. Me, I'm just gonna want to focus on me. I'm not going to want to even discuss talk to you about that, because I know that you're not gonna want to take the information that I'm giving you. And that's where our conversations end up leading to. But every time I would try to give her some type of information or try to give her some constructive criticism, like, hey, you left that stuff out on the counter, it's going to create bugs and stuff like that. She'll just project her energy at me and just be like, oh, I got it, and then it will be there in the morning and then I'll say something about it and then she'll get all mad at me. It's like, I'm just helping, I'm just trying to help. And every time, and then I stopped saying stuff, y'all. I stopped saying stuff. I stopped cleaning. I just moved out the way, and it's like, now that I moved out the way, it's like, oh, you don't care about me. You're preying on my downfall. You said that you was going to call social services on me and my son. I didn't say none of those things, and I'm not going to do none of those things because those things aren't helping me. But what I need y'all to understand is, when females or anybody that has any type of leverage over you and they get mad at you and they use that leverage over you, that's wrong. That's literally wrong, because at the end of the day, y'all, I have very little and she knows this. So if you're going to take that leverage to hurt somebody else that you know that they have little of, that's bad. That's bad. You're giving them something. And then after that, you want to try to take it back. You want to try to gloat and, keep bringing it up. It's just, these are all things that she continues to do, bring up people's bad situations. Like, everybody knows that me and my mom have a rough, tough relationship. And, she says, oh, your mom didn't love you, so this is why you, at the end of the day, when people are mad, they project their energies towards you. And then they use whatever leverage that they have. And, when somebody has leverage over you, it's basically, if they have something that they know about you, it could be blackmail, it could be, you're taking care of their kids, or it could be you have money that they want. It's leverage. It's something that they want. If somebody has leverage over you, and then they take that something that you want, and they basically shoo it out there in that argument and conversation, and basically say, okay, if you don't do what I want you to do, I'm going to mess with this. Then you're a bad person. Because that's basically what she's doing. She's saying, oh, okay, well, I feel disrespected. So instead of me just, ending the conversation like you do, I'm just going to just end it all here and say, okay, I don't feel safe with you here. I don't feel safe you around my son, and you just have to go right now. And that's basically what happened, y'all. I've never been a harm to her or her son. I watch her son a lot, and, what she likes to do is she likes to bring everybody else that have no knowledge of the situation into the situation. But when she vents, she tells a whole bunch of lies. She basically just says all this bad stuff about me to them so they can feel that I'm unsafe too. When I first came back here, my first day back here, y'all, the person that she said that she was getting away from, that person was still coming around, right? So the first night that I was here, he was threatening to come and try to remove me out the house, even after the contract, even after she said that, all those things that she was saying about me was a lie, was, her imagination, is just what she felt. Even when she said that, she still made it seem to other people that I was unsafe. So they tried to act like they was protecting her. And in reality, they was protecting her from nothing. So, y'all, this is literally what I'm going through right now. I have to blame myself. A lot of my time, has been trying to work with, her and, try to, take care of her son and just keep things organized, so we can be able to create something, y'all. But you can't control somebody that has a whole different destination from where you're going. Like, I'm sitting over here saying, and I would never put myself together with anybody if I didn't want us to grow, if I didn't want us to continue to work together. You know what I'm saying, y'all? So at the end of the day, I feel like, I kind of was set up. She got what she wanted, and now I just have to just suffer, And I see a lot of people on here, and they keep saying, this, that, and it's not even a lot of people. It's really just one or two people, y'all. At the end of the day, I don't care about what y'all saying, y'all. Y'all don't know what I have to go through. Y'all don't know what I want to be. Okay, I want to be a good dad, y'all. I want to be able to have I got so many big goals, y'all. I want to be able to meet people that's like-minded, OQP, people that's not going to just give up on you, people that's not just going to throw you under the bus just because it gets hard. People that's not going to just use their leverage over you just because they don't like what you're saying. Okay? That's what I want, y'all. And for me, trying to fight for this, y'all, it's taking everything. It's taking everything that I have, y'all. Literally, it's taking everything. And I have very little less to give, y'all. So I will ask for support. I will ask for support, y'all, because if I wasn't getting no support, if I didn't have y'all, I wouldn't be nothing, y'all. I wouldn't have nothing. And as a man, you are nothing if you can provide nothing, y'all. And I'm just being able to provide. I'm just trying to be able to provide for me and my babies, y'all. All of my babies, y'all. And it's like the devil just keeps coming in each and every way to kill, steal, and destroy. I've always had my own. I'm not a squatter. I've never been a squatter. Okay, y'all, this is the whole reason that I built a whole house in the woods in the first place, to show everybody that a home should be a home. It shouldn't be life. It shouldn't be everything. It shouldn't take your whole life to just fight for that, right? So when I come into a home, why wouldn't I sit here and try to come and help that family, right? In Proverbs somewhere, it says, God has, he has favor for, I don't know if it was in Proverbs or James. He said he has favor for, men who take care of the widows and take care, I think of the widows and the children. Okay? At the end of the day, y'all, I just want y'all to understand that every single thing that I've been doing, y'all, is so I could be able to get myself out this situation. Y'all, but I should have never trusted her again. I should have never trusted her again. I got messages where she said she would never kick me out again, And, you know, I got messages. I got so much messages, y'all, but it won't even matter because, you know, in the eyes of everybody else, y'all, she's going to continue to paint me out, you know, as the most terrible person alive, right? It's just the way that she speaks. It's the way that she tells information is just like, wow, this is everything that you've been holding in every single day. And it's just sad, y'all, because to know that you've actually been there, to know that you've actually been doing every single little thing that you can and every single thing that they've asked you to do, and you still get treated like this, y'all, it's like a kick in the face. It's like you just spit in my face. And it's like, I hate the fact that, you know, when women, you know, just cry wolf, you know, everybody just listen. Everybody just believes them. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. I hate that so much because that is how a lot of people get hurt. You're believing in stuff that's not true. Okay? In my opinion, I'm just going to keep it real. I say a lot of women are psychopaths. And if you don't believe me, I'll break it down to you right now. What's a psychopath, y'all? A psychopath is somebody that's chaos and destruction. So if you raising a kid and you never give him any order and discipline, y'all, then he's going to end up being a psychopath because he's going to do anything and everything that they want. Y'all. Most females, when they're a little girl, when they are a young girl at the age of like 8 or 9 years old, y'all, they're already getting away with a whole bunch of stuff just because they're a female already. Right? So they can lie. They can go ahead and tell on their brother. They can tell on their sisters. They're getting away with a lot more things than the guys are. And then let's go ahead and up the age. Okay, now when they get to 14, 15, 16, right? They're continuing to lie. They're continuing to do what they want. They're continuing to just, you know, bat their eyes and just be, you know, that pretty little girl that everybody just loves. But they're not getting any order. They're not getting any structure. So at that age, they're also getting guys looking at them in a different way. So they're using that to their ability to continue to act the same way that they're acting, to continue to lie, to continue to cheat, to continue to do whatever they're doing so that they can get their way. And then when you grow up, when they are grown, they have always learned that all that they have to do is be a female. They have learned that all they have to do is just open up their mouths. Y'all, you understand that, y'all, there's a lot of females out here that are dead wrong, dead dirt wrong in a lot of situation arguments and any confrontation. But they always have that one guy that will go to bat for them. That they always have that one guy or multiple guys that will come for bat for them, even though that they're wrong, just because he secretly likes her, or he secretly, or they've been intimate, or he looks at her in a certain way. At the end of the day, she has that power of influence over him because she's been learning this over time. Okay, so she understands what she is as a woman. So that's why I say that, you know, a lot of women, they have the ability to be psychopaths because if you continuously grow up with, you know, every time you just cry, every time you just scream and holler that everybody just listens to what you say, and then you be a grown and then you're trying to raise a child and do the same thing, that's a psychopath. Today, y'all, that's just how I feel about the situation, man. You know, I should have never trusted her again. You know, I don't know what I should have done, y'all. I mean, I really should have just been worrying about myself, y'all. At the end of the day, I was trying to get comfortable. As you can see, you know, it's been a crazy road for me and my babies, y'all. And, you know, we just want peace. But I see that there's a lot of war coming up. You're Scar Man. I'm gone.